Welcome to Cultural Quarter of an Hour with me, Charlotte Foster. This is a podcast all about Stoke-on-Trent and North Staffordshire. We are unashamedly positive about the area and we unashamedly sing this area's praises. We do this by looking at the area's culture. Now, this can be anything from events that are taking place, history of the area, but most importantly, it is the people.
Welcome to this week's episode of Cultural Quarter of an Hour. I hope you are well. Hope you've been enjoying the sunshine. I am absolutely enjoying the sunshine right now because I am in Hanley. It is the bank holiday weekend. And how often do we say this? The sun is shining. We're having like a mini heat wave the next couple of days. So what better way to spend your time than heading into Hanley and experiencing everything there is to experience with the big feast. It happens on bank holiday weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. It is all free. Appetite are the people behind it. I've been speaking to Kat from Appetite about the festival.
It's the sixth year of the Big Feast, and essentially we bring lots of incredible performances from Europe, from the UK, from Stoke-on-Trent to the streets of Stoke-on-Trent city centre, Hanley. It's all free. It pops up in random places, contemporary dance, circus, some magical stuff.
What are you most looking forward to this weekend?
Oh, wow.
You can't say finishing.
No, not finishing, no. There's a audio show called Cloudscapes where you lie back on a massive cushion and you look at the sky and you have a pair of headphones and a poet tells you these beautiful poetic stories about the clouds, and I'm looking forward to that.
That sounds amazing. Where is that taking place?
That's in Bethesda Gardens, so behind Bethesda Chapel.
Beautiful. And the joy, I think, of the Big Feast is the fact that you're walking around somewhere that most of us know. Some of us work, we'll come here on a Saturday, do our shopping. It's a surprise every single time.
And so many people, lots of people come knowing about it, but still there's so many people who don't know, who are literally just going to their buzz, going for their shopping, and they just stumble on something. So I just saw a couple who were just out shopping and they just saw this incredible dance show which takes place in a bed of soil, really moving and dramatic, and they just were watching it. It's great.
Yeah, I was watching that as well. It's just, you think, hang on, it's just a bit of mud and some people, but it's not, is it? It's much more than that.
No, it's really like the talent is incredible and the story they're trying to tell, and it was very wild and all their hair was on their faces. It's very bizarre, but everybody was transfixed.
How do you decide what performances, what acts come along to something like this?
Yeah, so our creative producer Tim works with a group of local residents called the Supper Club, and they meet with us once a month and they go on things called takeaways. So they go and see shows across the UK and come back to us and say what they liked, what they didn't like, what they thought Stoke would like, and we kind of collaboratively create a programme.
So it's not just you sitting in an office going, oh, I like that. It's a real sort of shared experience.
Exactly, that's just the idea. We want local people to feel like to choose the things that they see on their streets, and that's what it's all about really, local decision making and creating a new vibrant city centre with local people.
So 6th year of the Big Feast, how does it improve or how does it change each year?
So I think it grows each year, definitely. Like the audiences get bigger and the programme gets bigger. So this year's a little bit different. So we're doing a lot more down Piccadilly, and we've got a new stage called the Piccadilly Stage, which has pop-in dance workshops, Kaylee's, just music, great stuff.
And Piccadilly itself is seeing a bit of resurgence, isn't it?
Yeah, so there's loads of cool little bars down there, little cafes, little restaurants. So definitely when you come, so we're partnering with Stoke-on-Trent Bid, they're supporting the Big Feast. Come and spend locally, have a drink, have a meal out, and then watch some stuff.
So it's all about growing with Hanley, growing with the city centre.
Exactly, and actually, it's funnily enough, as it's happening, our old HQ, which was in the old Argos previous years, is getting bulldozed to make way for something new, and that's happening while this is happening, so it's all very poetic.
Amusingly, I saw Georgia earlier, I said, oh, you in the old Argos? And she looked at me as though I was an idiot, and I went, no, it's not there anymore, is it?
Yeah, the city centre changes so quickly, and it's actually quite nice to keep doing this and adapting to the new spaces, because usually we used Albion Square, it's not there anymore, so this year we're using Fountain Square, which is where the markets are, so shout out to them for accommodating us, was really good of them. So yeah, changing, the city centre changes and this changes.
What do you reckon will be the big event that everyone's talking about then this year?
So I think it's probably going to be Smashed, which is this big juggling show. It's toured around the world, and we're going to have two versions, a world premiere in Stoke-on-Trent, a version of the show where the female and male roles are swapped. So it's never been seen before. It's called Smash 2, and that's on tomorrow afternoon.
So on Saturday afternoon?
Yes, on Saturday afternoon.
Fabulous stuff. I can't wait to come and see all of this, and I'm just going to have a bit of a wander around now and see what I can stumble upon? Because I think that, I know there's a map, there's lots of lists where everyone can find you. If you want to look for something, you can find it. But I quite like the whole just stumbling upon it.
Exactly, that's what it's all about. Go and have a wander and see what you find.
Fabulous. Thank you for talking to me, Kat.
Thank you.
So a bit further along, as I move towards the new bus station, I've just stumbled upon the guys at Urban Wilderness, Laurel and the team there, and they've brought their ship, which was part of the Forest Wild Festival, and it's an amazing ship if you get the chance to see it. This was created as part of that festival. It was on top of the hill up at Forest Park in Hanley, and it's just fantastic. As I move a little bit further along as well, heading just at the back of Vicky Hall, I think some entrepreneurs are here doing some graffiti. It's okay, the graffiti is allowed, you're not going to get in trouble for doing the graffiti, and it looks like lots of kids are having fun. That's going to be a great picture when it's finished. So yeah, the guys from entrepreneurs are here doing some graffiti. I think this is one of my absolute favourite things about the Big Feast, is you can just wander around and just bump into things that are going on that you weren't expecting. So I wasn't expecting to see, some graffiti taking place by the back of Victoria Hall. Well, here I am now. I've made my way to Piccadilly, where there's lots going on. Piccadilly stage is ready and primed for some action later this afternoon. But in front of the Piccadilly stage, there are some people sitting on some hail bales and what looks like some poetry writing going on. I'm going to find out a little bit more.
My name's Leanne Cooper and I'm a poet and author from the West Midlands. I'm from Walsall Poetry Society.
And what is going on? We're at the Piccadilly stage and I can see there's a table all set out. We've got some tags, there's some writing going on. What is happening here?
So I'm here representing the Lost Haiku project, which is a project set up by James Josiah, and I help run the Facebook page and different little projects for him. And today we're doing Lost Haiku, so we're doing little mini haiku workshops, telling people about haiku, how you write them, getting people to have a go at writing their own. And then the second part of the project is to leave little haikus that are laminated around the town for people to find.
That sounds amazing, but people that aren't sure, what is a haiku?
So haiku is a form of Japanese poetry. It's short poetry which consists of 3 lines. Each line has a different set of syllables. So the first line is 5 syllables, the second is 7 syllables, and the last line is 5 syllables. That's how you write them out.
So you think, 3 lines, that should be easy. And you go, hang on, there's a few rules that we have to follow. But it's not that complex, is it?
No, not really. It seems it, but you can count out the syllables. I'm counting them on my fingers all the time when I check my poetry. But it's really easy. It's fun to have a go. Nice short poetry.
And you said they're going to be laminated and then sort of spread around the city. Who do you want to find them?
Anybody and everybody. I think it's just a fun little project. It's fun to hide them, find interesting places to hide them. And I like to think the people who find them are like, wow, I found this. And it just introduces poetry to the community.
How important is it that people, find out a little bit more about poetry? To me, poetry is something, we do lots of rhymes when we're children, and then it kind of almost gets lost a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it does, but as somebody that's always written poetry since I was a child, it's something that I love. My children are into writing poetry, and I think it is important. It's a part of our culture. It's something that a lot of people can relate to, and it does help with mental health as well.
What kind of topics have people been doing so far today?
We've had wolves in Costa Coffee Shop. We've had tigers, rainbows. So it's all about nature, animals and places in Hanley today. But you can write haiku about anything, really.
I'm loving the idea of a wolf or wolves in Costa Coffee. Do you reckon they'd have a cappuccino or a latte?
A wolfuccino.
A wolfuccino? But cappuccino, that takes up quite a few syllables.
It does, yeah. Do you want me to count them out?
No, I was just cappuccino. 4. So you say I'm thinking about the syllables all the time. So it's already got me thinking about the structure of sentences that I'm using. And is that kind of the point of haiku as well, to kind of challenge yourself?
It is, yeah. It is quite difficult if you're new to it to try and think and fit in the syllables. And once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy, and you'll find yourself just counting them out in your head. You won't have to count on your fingers anymore.
So everyone's welcome to come and have a go, have a play around, and I guess there's no right or wrong, is there?
No right or wrong. Keep practising, keep having a try. Everybody's welcome. Please come down and see us. It's a great project and we'd love the support.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, the good news is I've come away with some haikus to hide. So I'm going to go and hide some of those haikus around the town. Maybe take them back to Newcastle as well, spread the love a little bit. Well, events like this don't take place without an army of volunteers. Stephen is one of those volunteers, and this is the conversation I had with him.
I love volunteering with Appetite, and I love the staff a lot than what I can thank.
Is it what do you do then as a volunteer?
I'm a steward, and I give out leaflets and do click counting to the public.
So you're counting everyone, making sure everyone stays in line, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. And what do you do any other stuff with Appetite?
We do big feast and everything, what they've got coming, and Newcastle.
So how long have you been volunteering with Appetite for?
6 years.
Since the beginning, almost?
Yeah.
What was it that made you say, yeah, I'm going to sign up for this?
I thought it was enjoyment and fantastic and fab to work with people.
And you're not just saying that because one of them's standing next to you?
Oh, no. And I haven't been paid to say that one.
Well, thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you also managed to get out and have a go here in Hanley and see the big feast. As I say, every year it always comes as a bit of a surprise as to what you can find around the town, around the city centre, and it's just... I'm so pleased the weather's been so good. Last year it was a bit of a washout, wasn't it, if we're being honest? Anyway, looking forward to talking to you next week. If you want to get in touch before then, please do. You can get in touch on Facebook, Cultural Quarter of an Hour Podcast, on Twitter @CQHPod, and like I say, back next week.